I gotta say, it's fantastic. Say that again. Hot Toys is coming out with some Fantastic Four figures from, of course, Fantastic Four First Steps, coming out pretty soon. And looking at this lineup here, they are looking pretty fantastic, you know? We've got, of course, the 4-0, if that's how you say it. And then Herbie, I believe his name is, this little bot down here. They look fantastic, but this guy, look at Galactus. He looks amazing. I gotta be honest with you, I don't know if I'm gonna be picking this up because it's actually by a new Hot Toys company called Sophie, S-O-F-V-I. I don't know how to pronounce it, but it looks kind of cool. It has, of course, you know, all the little figures around him, but we'll look at him in a little bit more detail. Yeah, these photos of him make him look awesome. I believe Sophie, however it's pronounced down here, is actually going to be a kind of like Hot Toys statue type brand, like semi kind of articulatable figures, I guess. But yeah, this one looks fantastic. Here's like 2 more pictures of him. You can see you can move the arms. There's, I think, 6 points of articulation or something. Not too many, but you can move the arms a little bit, the head, just kind of get them kind of looking around. It does look like the eyes are going to light up, so that's pretty neat. Then he is very tall, 70 centimeters, which is about almost 30 inches, like 27 and a half-ish, something like that. So he's pretty tall. You can see we have Mr. Fantastic. We're standing right next to him right here. But yeah, he looks great, I have to admit. So I pulled a little side by side. Of course, the movie's not out yet, but I found this image online of what he looks like, and you can see all the face detail, kind of, yeah, all that lines in there, like the little bit of line detail all up in his face. Looks a little off, but it's part of his look, so makes sense. Then his outfit looks pretty accurate. The colors here on the right are a bit darker, so I feel like in the movie he'll be more vibrant, like the Hot Toys one right here. Oh yeah, and then yeah, here it is, 6 points of articulation with rotatable movement in the head, upper arms, forearms, and waist. So you can rotate his waist a little bit, have his head looking whichever way. His arms come up, you can bend them a little, I'm guessing. And then of course, you know, what goes up has to go down, so I guess his arms go down, the head can move that way, opposite of that way, and then his waist can rotate this way. So yeah, I guess 6 points of articulation. So there you go. And what I think is actually really cool about this, like looking at them up close, yeah, there's not a ton of detail, but they're going to get the job done, I feel, because you're not going to be looking at these up close when you're actually looking at your Galactus, I feel. But yeah, you get 5 little miniatures you can attach to his body. I don't know, there's probably set points you have to attach them to, but until he's actually out or we have a closer look or something, then that's just, yeah, we don't know 100%. Of course, you know, there's Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, Human Torch, and the Thane. Then there's a Silver Surfer. I forget. I know this is a female version, and I think it's a different name, but I'm gonna just say Silver Surfer. These all look pretty good, and honestly, this might be a little controversial of an opinion, but if you just get Galactus, because he does come with technically every major character from the movie, except I guess that baby and Herbie, then this could be your Fantastic Four representation. He is pretty large, so keep that in mind. But I think he actually looks pretty good. I don't know how much he's going to be yet. We'll wait for him to pop up on Sideshow or something. But since he's more of a statue, he probably won't be crazy expensive, I'm hoping. So now, honestly, I'm debating on just getting him as my Fantastic Four representation. If the movie's good, of course. I will be seeing it whenever it comes out, probably that weekend or something. And kind of like the Superman movie, I'll kind of talk about it, do a short little movie review, and then once again talk about the figures and how accurate I think they actually are. But yeah, he looks awesome. We kind of talked about everything, and yep, light up function for the eyes, of course. But yeah, if you do get the special edition, he actually comes with a metal collectible card with display case. I'm not really sure how big this is, but I'm guessing it's like a playing card size or something. But actually, yeah, I think all of them actually come with this, but we'll take a look at that here coming up. But there's something I have to tell you guys. So here's the thing. And yes, that's probably an overused joke, but that's what I'm rocking with. So here's the thing. He looks very good, very highly detailed. Like, look at that rocky body. But if you don't want to see that rocky body, he comes with, of course, a shirt, which I am absolutely loving the kind of retro vibe that the outfits have. Kind of like sweaters and stuff for the actual Fantastic Four First Steps movie. It actually, yeah, it looks very, very cool. And his character design is pretty accurate to the comics. And yeah, I just kind of love it. The big old eyebrows, stuff like that. And yeah, of course, he also, we'll look at it in a little bit more detail, but this swap out head sculpt with the beard looks very cool. You can tell from these photos, he's not going to be crazy articulation wise. And honestly, I'm not sure if you can really bend the arms much. It does look like there's kind of seam lines in there, like you can bend them a little bit. But yeah, it's till we actually see the prototypes and stuff more, it's hard to tell. Or like if Hot Toys comes out and it's like, oh yeah, you can bend them. But looking at these photos, it looks like you kind of can. But yeah, like here, yeah, it's not seamless. You know, it's kind of like the Hulk where you can actually see his arm joints, or yeah, there's like seams up there in the shoulders. So you can move the arms. It's just right there. I don't think you can really bend them where the elbows are. So that seems a little unfortunate, but to be honest, he looks awesome. So yeah, the removable upper part of the suit for different display options. I don't know if when he has this shirt on, or yeah, it's not too clear. I'm not sure if it's like these are two big swap out pieces, or you can like remove the shirt, because it just says removable upper part of the suit for different display options. So maybe that just means that you can take the shirt off of them. It doesn't really show the back of the figure, so maybe it's just like Velcro or something. You just pull it off. So yeah, until we actually see it, I'm not 100% sure. But also now looking at it around the neck, you can see like, I guess, little deformation or something. So maybe the shirt just comes off or something like that. But it actually looks like a little bit more of a crease here. So yeah, it's hard to say how those arms are going to look exactly. But of course, you know, I had to pull up a low resolution image of the character from the movie and just compare it to the head sculpt you get from Hot Toys. I have to say, looks pretty accurate. One on the left is a little bit more high resolution, one on the right, you know, signature low resolution. Straight for me, as usual. I just pulled this picture up off the internet, just, you know, Google Fantastic Four, and there you go. Especially if you put the Thane in there. And yeah, head sculpts look good. That's basically all I have to say about it. You could go into very intense detail if you want, you know, like look at this piece, you know, that matches this piece matches that piece. Oh, these pieces are a little out of place. Yeah, no, I ain't doing that. The rocks look good on him, and either way, yeah, he has a beard, head sculpt, and I'm not sure how that works exactly because I don't know how you have a rock beard. Yeah, so interesting. Speaking of which, rock beard right here, of course. You can see he's got his rocky beard. It does look very good. I do like it. The only thing is I probably wouldn't display him like this because to me the beard isn't really how I imagine the Thane, but he's called the Thane, so yeah. But yeah, of course, two head sculpts, and you can roll the eyes on both of them. So there you go, everything you need. And now here's the overall picture. So the interesting thing is these all look kind of the same. The special edition exclusive metal collectible card with display case. So I don't know if it's different. We'll look at the other ones, but I think they're all basically the same. So you don't have to get the special edition of every one unless you really want to. Maybe they're different. It's just showing this is like yeah, this is coming with it. So we'll just have to see when the official post goes live, I guess. But honestly, people are probably gonna be picking up every special edition if they're gonna pre-order it anyway, so might as well. But yeah, he looks pretty awesome. He comes with, of course, 5 swap out hands. That base is pretty cool. I like the 4 in it, and then his like rocky looking kind of abstract art looking body, I guess. And we talked about it, removable top, heads, comes with feet, so happy about that. And yeah, that's the thing. He looks very good in my opinion. And yeah, the thing about them, no pun intended there actually, is if you get one of them, I feel like you got to get all 4. So that's why I was saying Galactus might be your full representation if you're not wanting to spend too much, but you do end up liking the movie. Because yeah, if you get one of them, you probably have to get all 4. And yeah, let's just look at the next one. Invisible Woman, you know, so I actually already own her. I have an Invisible Woman on my shelf right now in my display, and she's actually right next to my Invisible Man figure, you know, Invisible Man from the movie. But yeah, jokes aside, you know, don't actually have her yet because she's just invisible. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of her though. So I don't know if she's still on my shelf. She could have fallen off or something because she's kind of invisible. So yeah, for real, you know, obviously I'm just joking. She looks pretty good right here. We'll take a look at that head sculpt here in a second. She's not like rooted hair or anything, it's sculpted, but Hot Toys has gotten better at sculpting like women hair. And honestly, looking at some of the old like Marvel characters or just like anything that was a female with kind of that yarn hair looks kind of really bad nowadays, to be honest. So I'm glad they decided to go sculpted. Looking at these pictures, she looks pretty good, kind of basic, similar outfit, you know, they all have their team outfit, the sweater kind of retro vibe going on. And then of course she actually comes with the shield. She's going to be on a flight pole, I guess, and she has the baby, which looking at that baby, he reminds me of like Professor X or something. I know obviously it's not Professor X unless something crazy happens, but the way he's just sitting there staring, it's maybe a little creepy, maybe a little interesting. We'll just have to see what he does in the movie. Then here's her, I guess, checking out the creepy baby. You probably don't really get this clear thing, so yeah, we'll look in that little section, but obviously it just kind of stands up there. It has a little base, so yeah, we'll look at that in a second. Then I guess she's just, yeah, standing here for this pose. Now the comparison. This is one of the better images I could find that wasn't too low resolution. So the figure looks good. Seems maybe a little bit off. Yeah, to me, yeah, I mean, like the hair behind the ear seems like pretty accurate, and then the hair color and stuff. I don't know, is it just me? Something seems off. Maybe it's the eye position. They're not positioned correctly, but definitely let me know in the comments if you think this looks accurate or if it could use a little bit more work. To me, I think it could be using a little bit more work, but I definitely want to know what you guys think down in the comments. And then, yeah, so separate rolling eyeballs. We have 2 more close-ups of the head sculpt, and yeah, the eyes, maybe they're just not like properly, what's the word, like angled or in the same position, because they just look a little off in both these to me, but that's probably just whoever decided to position them. Then here's that creepy looking baby Franklin Richards figure in cradle with removable cover. He looks very creepy, if I do say so myself. That other picture made him look more like Professor X or something, but hey, don't want to see him? Slap this on there and you're good. You just hide that creepy looking baby. But the actual detail on here looks very good. I like the kind of like glossy look, and it looks like one of those old fashioned type of chairs, that like rotating little bit on the bottom. And hey, maybe he does something cool in the movie. I don't know much about him from the comics or anything, so let me know what he does in the comics down in the comments, although it'd probably be a spoiler, but oh well, just let me know. And then here is the overall shot. So once again, same exact picture for that card. Not really sure what the difference is going to be. But yep, we talked about everything she comes with. Her like interesting little shield that I guess is probably going to be made out of like really thin plastic or something. Then here's her. The backside looks a little odd, but that's okay. But yeah, you have swap out regular hands, swap out glove hands. Her base is interesting as well. Kind of matches the look of the Thanes with kind of the outline where she's invisible. So actually really like the kind of vibe they're going for with this. Then here's another look. There's going to be a version of her that comes with Herbie. So her and I believe Reed, or, you know, Mr. Fantastic are each going to come with Herbie, which we'll look at Herbie in a little bit more detail coming up. But for some reason, they're making a version that comes with him for her and Mr. Fantastic. So I guess you can choose which one you want to come with them. Or if for some reason you only gain like one character, then I guess you can also choose to get Herbie. But yeah, who's going to buy one of the Fantastic Four? You can't have the Fantastic One. That's not very fantastic, to be honest. Then yeah, they put up some pictures of her with Herbie, you know, trying to, I guess, help out with the baby. Trying to like warn her that that's a secret demon that he's got to take care of right now. And then Larry, like the same position of him just trying to get her attention because the baby's gone, you know, probably went back to where it came from. And yeah, he has interchangeable faceplates. So it looks like these little pieces just slot out. You can slot it back in, kind of like a, what is it, cassette, like something like that. Interesting design for him, but you know, it's kind of that older retro looking vibe. So kind of dig it. Looks pretty cool. And now Mr. Fantastic and everybody's favorite, Pedro Pascal. I know a lot of people don't like that he's being cast and everything, but I don't really mind him. He's pretty cool, to be honest. He's interesting because he comes with like swap out pieces. So this top piece and bottom piece, I believe, are like statue type pieces. So you can't really articulate them from what I understand. Like maybe you can a little bit, but we'll look at it. The pose is here, and then this one over here, the legs look very similar, and his outfit looks like it's more of like a plasticky type material rather than the actual fabric that the shirt looks like it's made out of. So personally, that's a bit of a downside. Once again, here's another photo. This time he's having that like swap out statue type piece on top, and then the bottom's the regular, which to me, the mismatch between the statue piece and then the fabric makes it look a little off. Then this one was interesting because his hand looks bigger, but it's not the like statue piece. So maybe it's just the way the camera's angled. It's honestly kind of hard to tell, but still looks good. And then same with this one. So maybe he just comes with a bigger hand. Well, yeah, we'll take a look. And then here, I don't even know what kind of pose this is. This is his like, I'm going to touch you pose or something creepy like that, I guess. Yeah, to me, this head sculpt, the big downside is that it doesn't really look too actiony, so I feel like he can't be in a crazy action pose, but I guess it's not the end of the world. He's kind of just like a little smirk or something. And you know I had to compare him. And we got on the left, of course, Mr. Fantastic. On the right, we have Joel. I already pre-ordered the Joel figure. I love The Last of Us, and if you saw that video I made about it, or if you haven't seen it, go check it out, but this figure looks great. And you can tell it's a very kind of similar look. I want to kind of compare them. You can see the facial structure is pretty similar, which makes sense. It's the same actor. But yeah, like there's definitely differences. But of course, you know, just want to compare the two head sculpts, and both of them to me look like Pedro Pascal from Fantastic Four and Last of Us respectively. Or respectively. I think that's the right wording for it. Then here, I didn't notice this when I was pulling the pictures, but his eyes look kind of huge in the image on the right. Is this like edited? I don't know. But they look kind of big over here. But it's accurate. I don't want to stare at this for too long. He's just staring into my soul right now with those giant eyes. But yeah, it looks accurate. So looks good to the movie. The hair's similar position. The facial structure, you know, got a little stash going on, a little bit of rubble. Maybe a little less rubble on the figure than over here. But overall, I still see him in it. And the usual separate rolling eyes. So I'm looking at you from this direction, looking at you from this direction. So whatever you need. Then this is the interesting part. It says interchangeable sculpted statue body with separable upper and lower parts. Guess I can't talk today. Need to drink a little water to, I guess, you know, wet in my mouth a little or something, because I keep feeling like I'm like swallowing or something. But oh well, we'll figure that out after the video. But yeah, so his legs, I don't know why I'm looking at the right first, but his legs are swap out. You can tell there's a color mismatch. Same with the arms up here. It's interesting. It makes them a bit tall, so I don't know how many people are going to actually do that in the display. But let me know in the comments what you're going to do with yours, if you're going to have them displayed with these, or, well, of course, you know, if you're even getting them at all. Then yeah, once again, same exact card. No clue what's going on with that, but yeah. Everything he comes with. He does actually have bigger arms, it looks like. So that's pretty interesting. Looks like they're the gloved ones, and there's like non-fully gloved versions. So interesting. These ones maybe go on the statue one. These ones don't. So yeah, we'll just have to see what's going on. Then of course, I actually do like that base. He's a bit stretchy Slenderman looking on there, but yeah, gets the job done. And then I guess he has shoes, so good job. And then yeah, just real quick. This is the version of him that comes with Herbie, you know, there's Herbie. And then some pictures of him with Herbie, you know, here just kind of using his big old arm to touch his head or something. And then this one, Herbie's like, bro, what the heck is that? And then actually he had some close-ups of Herbie. So here you go. Herbie, it looks like it's going to be a little articulatable with his arms coming out, his little claws. Then I guess if you want, you can just tuck them in so it can be looking like a little refrigerator or something. But now, the Human Torch. So Human Torch looks pretty good. The head sculpt's a little off, to be honest. Like, this doesn't really look like him from the movie too much, but yeah, we'll get into it. He looks kind of cool, though, with all the fire effects. So yeah, he has some cool looking fire effects. You see, it's like the flame looking one. It's like all over his body and stuff. And then the outfit's pretty cool, though. It's a bit different than the others, though. Yeah, like right here, you see he's got his like tornado looking flame. And yeah, I think he's going to look pretty cool when he comes out, but definitely not accurate like at all. And yeah, no, I was just kidding. So the actual figure, they haven't put photos out for, so they're probably figuring out the likeness or something, because honestly, looking at these two, the hair looks a little bit off, but it does look like him to me. I'm a big Stranger Things fan, so of course, you know, I remember the actor from that, and he was pretty awesome in there. But yeah, I'm actually very interested to see what he actually comes with and all that. So Hot Toys, get on it, because no one's going to want the Fantastic 3, so gotta get the full Fantastic 4 up there, and then I feel like people are gonna definitely pre-order. But looking at my low resolution image and this one, he looks very, very good. But the hair could be a little improved, potentially. Looks a little bit bigger over here, and then here he just, yeah, like sits better. So that's the one criticism I have right now. But yes, that was pretty fantastic. I really enjoyed looking at those figures. They all look pretty awesome. Like I mentioned, I am so excited to actually see the movie and do a little like review, talk about the movie and the figures and stuff again. So subscribe for that for sure. Go ahead, give this video a like, comment down below what you think of these figures, if you're going to be picking any up, if you're probably the smart move, seeing the movie first before you make a decision, and just, yeah, what do you think of them? I look forward to hearing from you down in the comments, so leave it down there. I'll get back to you. Luckily, I'm not the biggest channel yet, so lucky for you, I'll be responding to you. Don't have 10 million comments down there to fight with in order for me to actually see yours. So if you want to talk to me down in the comments, just leave it down there and yeah, I'll get back to you. But that's about it. Yesterday, we talked about that Darth Sidious release. He looked awesome. And then today, Hot Toys surprised me when I woke up and I was like, dang, thinking all day at work, just, I gotta get home. I gotta talk about them. This looks so awesome. And yeah, that's what we're doing. So yep, subscribe to the channel, give this video a like, and I will talk to you all again very soon.